Hello friends. So in this video, we try to discuss what is happening or what happened in the past 4 days in the 9500 call. So this is a video about open interest. So we are going to see the data for the last 4 days, starting from Friday last week until today, and see what happened to this 9500 call from that day. So you have information for tomorrow, um, and you could see where this call could be heading, right? So I don't want to share any view on what this call can do tomorrow, but I wanted to just discuss what happened until today, from the time this instrument started trading actively, that is from Friday, which is after the previous weekly expiry. So if you see, this is the chart for 8th of May, from 8th of May. So here the 8th of May opened. It opened around 94, right? And then from there, on 8th of May, it closed around 50 rupees. And the next day it opened around 50, and then it closed around 27. This was on Monday, right? And on Tuesday we were at the lowest point for this call, and we had 12 rupees or 11 rupees also traded price. And after that it jumped significantly, and then we reached, today in the opening we made a high of 170, but it was very short lived. If you see the high of today, in the first 15 minutes itself we gave up the entire gains in this call. And then for the rest of the day we were trading below 100 for this, which was the range for the past 4 days. So if you see the extreme of the range for the previous 4 days is about 100. So we started trading within this range today also. So let's see at what prices different positions are added in this call, to understand what are the open positions, or how could we see the tomorrow's movement in this one, right? So the first day being 8th of May. Before that, we will see how much is the outstanding open interest in this call, on the option chain. So if you see in the 9500 call, we have a total outstanding open interest of 2.4 million. That is 2.404 million. And on the put side, we have just about like 441,000. So still, even on the 9400 strike, we have about 1.4 million on call side and only 800,000 on put side. So only 9300 strike is going, looks to be the good support on the put side open interest. But let's see what all, this 2.4 million, how we have come till here, from the time it started trading on, not started trading, like it started actively trading on 8th of May, right? So this is the data for, this call, like 9500 call, and I'm going to see it from 8th of May, that is Friday, right? So it opened around 95 on that day, right? And then this is the chronological data of, this call option. And let's see what happened from the time from the time of Friday. Let's see what happened from then, right? I'm just going to go by the big additions that have happened here, and the trend that it had after that. So for simplicity, or not going in detail for every small positions here, uh, right? So if you see on the opening of 8th, that is at about 10 a.m., there was some 146,000 open interest got added, at a price of 81, right? So that is the first big quantity, and after that we started moving lower, right? On that day, if you see, uh, in this candle, that open interest got added, and then over the later part of the day we started moving, and then we closed about 50 rupees on that day, right? So if we see the rest of the positions on that day, apart from this one, there were no that significant positions, if you see, except for this one at 60,000, which was at 72, right? And let's see if any other positions got added on that day and what price they got added, right? Okay. yeah, there's not much of positions that got added here as well. And one more thing also, I wanted to see what was the opening OI on that day. So on that day, what was the previous day's OI, right? So by that day only, all we almost had like 1.5 million. Uh, so 1.537880, right? So that means that whatever is added up till this point is added at higher prices than these prices. That is, these prices are 95, and if you see the prices before this, uh, the prices on the previous day were in a range of 89 to 70 to 90, and before that we had about 125, and we had higher prices prior to that. I think during these days volumes were not that much when compared to these days, but still there was a OI which got added in this call, and maybe up till that point, up till 1.5 million, it could be added at even higher prices, that is 125 and 150 or 200 as well, right? So that is one point that I wanted to um, mention, because it was already 1.1.3 million before 8th March, before 8th May, right? So by the end of 8th May, if you see, so we had some guys squaring off also, if you see, and then by day end, uh, considering the both shorts and longs, in this one we have about 75,000 which added around 67. So we have seen like three big shorts that have been coming, and the prices have been like 70 to 80, in the range of 70 to 80. And then by closing, when it tried to close at 50, there are some guys who are also exiting their positions at these prices. That means that this could be also be taken as intraday play or something, because the shorts which were being added here, we are seeing them exit at the close, right? And then if you see the rest of the OI, like the opening OI was 1.39 million, and by the end of the day it became 1.787, right? That's about 400k addition in OI on this call, during 8th May, right? But if you see all this OI, that is small OI which got added, it's also below 70 rupees, right? So this is at 61.59 and stuff like that. So considering, let's net it off for the day, for the 8th of May, right? So this 140, 180, and 230, this is about 80. And if you see, there's a lot of OI added at between 70 to 80. A lot of OI is added about 70 to 80. So we can draw a conclusion that on 8th of May, out of the OI carried forward for the next day, that is whatever is addition on this day, that is 1.39 million was the opening and 1.787 million was the closing. All of this is added about, or uh, in the average prices of like 65 to 80, right? So that is the basic assumption by seeing the data that we can take, and then let's see what how it progressed like in the later days, that is on 11th, that is on Monday, this week Monday. Let's see what happened on that day, right? So we closed about 50 on Friday, that was here. And the next day we opened about at the same level, right? So we'll see what happened immediately after the open, right? Yep. So if you see, immediately after the open, I think, okay, so we had some shorts getting covered, and the price made high of 97. And you can see, the previous day we carried about like 400,000 short in the range of 65 to 80, as we have seen from the data, and then all of them had to exit, so they are forced to cover at 83, right? So it made a high of 97, which was the extreme of the range, and then again shorts started peeping in at 91, right? And then if you see from there, we have added good amount of OI, and again from 91, and we have added until 65, right? And then at the lows here at 50, we have been seeing some longs, 77.30. This is like 100,000 which is at lows 50 rupees, right? And then let's see what happened to that later. So we have some shorts as well and some longs as well, but shorts are at 90, 85 to 90 level, and longs are at 50 to 45 to 50 levels, right? Then after that, if you see later in the day, we have been trading around 50, 60 levels, and slowly by day end, we reached almost 33 levels. And then those shorts which came in at the start of the day, this 80,000 and 56,000, some of those shorts could be taking exit here because the OI um, has been reduced at lower prices, right? So but still there is some OI which is at which have been added short about 85 to 90, as you can see from the prices here. So once some of the guys were taken out, there are fresh shorts that started coming in, and those were from 91, 85, and yeah, 91 and 85. You see specifically, this is the biggest one, similar to the earlier one, 40,000 we have seen at the same almost same level. Like 83 we have seen the earlier one, now we have seen that as 91 level, right? So we can say that there are some shorts carrying their shorts at the same, about the same level, right? About the same level, that is 81, 80 to 90 range, right? Some of them took exit, but some of them are still holding, because you can see the net OI addition for the day is positive, right? From 1.787 the previous day, it became just 1.964. But you can observe here is that it is a very minor addition compared to the previous days. Previous days addition was 400,000, and some shorts have been forced to cover, and that's the reason that people didn't have confidence to write this call on 11th of May, right? So and then it closed about 33 level, and then let's see what happened on 12th, that is yesterday, right? So here you can see clearly that very minor OI got added in this strike on 12th, on 11th of May, right? And this is the chart for this is the data for 12th of May. And if you see the chart, we opened around like 15 to 17, right? That's about half of the prices as on 11th of May, right? And then let's see what happened on 12th of May, right? And if you see on 12th of May, okay, so right at the opening, we are seeing some long build-ups happening. That is about 216,000, and that is at a price of 12 rupees. So that's the lowest price in all of the range that it has been in for the past 3-4 days, right? And then here some long started coming up, right, at 216,000, and then from there it started stabilizing at that price, and then in the later part of the day, if you see, there were no significant shorts that started coming in at this price, except this 80 and 30, and at this level we have a long of like 216,000, right? And the prices started stabilizing, and we have seen even these long build up of 67 and 48 also. This is about 100,000, and this is 200,000, right? Now after this activity at 10, about 10 11 rupees, so we didn't see much, of short built up or long built up much. We have seen some cases of long build up here, but that's not significant comparing these sizes, right? And then let's see what happened later in the day, right? Okay, so then what happened from like a noon, from noon in the 12th of May, some shorts started covering right at those prices only. The price didn't move up, but the shorts started covering at 11 12 rupees. If you see this 59 47 35, right? And once that happened, the price moved slowly up, and then it reached the previous day's close, that is 11th of May close, 34. Then here you can see 125 and these shorts exiting, right? So there are some shorts that are carried from the previous day, right? So because you can see the net addition of the previous day was about 200,000, and here you can see the shorts exiting at 22 28, right? And then after that also, if you see by the close, we didn't have we had short exits, and we didn't have any fresh built ups even at these prices of 34 35, right? 72,000, 72,000. But what you have to observe is that these longs which were added at lower levels, right? These longs of 200,000, this 67 48, these were still holding, but these shorts had to take an exit at double the prices, right? and then these longs were carried to the next day, that is today, right? And then today we had an opening of about, right? So if you see the net OI, the previous day it was 1.9 on the 11th of May, right? And even on 12th of May, we didn't have much of significant addition that was there in this strike. It was almost flat if you see by the end of the day, right? So let's see what happened today, that is 13th of May. So this is the latest data. Let's see where it opened after that. Right. So it opened about I think this is the opening data, but let's see the chart where it opened. Yeah. So this is 127. It opened around 127, and the first 15 minutes or first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes it traded in the range of like 95 to 170, right? So if you see here, the opening, this is 160, that high is mentioned as here, and just during the next 10 minutes, that is 9:20 to 9:30, we had a significant short built up here coming up. That is 298,000 at 109, right? And then again 237,000 came at 94, and then again 149,000 at 71, and again 106,000 at 69. So if you observe, all of these quantities that you're seeing here are the highest in the last 4 days, right? So that is one thing to note, that this is where the most of shorts are concentrated, right? Sort of the total OI that you have over here of 2.4 million, right? So the majority of the OI is concentrated at these prices, 71, 94, and 100, right? So this is the prices where above which these guys would be forced to cover, right? And then we also see some long built up coming up at 71, right? And then later we'll see some long exiting here at 78, right? So this is the activity for today. And later in the day, the one thing we observed is that we have been receiving some short built up interest in this call. Even at 11, 20, 30, we had about like 80,000 at 79, and 69,000 at 78, right? And then let's see what happened by the day end. So these were the opening shots that got added, and there are shots in between also that were coming, right? And then again we have a short at 66, right? 66 of about 209,000. So what happened after the price made this low of 60, 62, 60, like 60 and 62? So there were some shorts covering that was seen, like this 36,000 and this 72,000, right? Then price reached back to those 78, 79 level, and then again we see some long unwinding, right? So this is not much of activity because the sizes are less compared to the morning sizes and this 209,000 short. But if you see by the closing, that is like in the last half an hour, so this 3 o'clock to 3:10, we have seen a good short covering of 226,000 at an average of 66, right? So whatever this late shorts of 66 that have come in anticipation of more fall could have exited it here at the day close, right? And then we also have like 184,000 exit at 69, right? So that could also be some of the shorts which have added at the later part of the day. For example, if you see there's a 94,000 short here, right? And even we have some 80, 70,000 shorts at 11:20, 11:30, except for the opening. We had some 90,000 of short, 80,000 of short here, and 69 here, right? And also 70,000 here, right? So these could be exiting. This could be exiting. So that is what we are seeing after 3:10, right? And then by the close we see longs exiting of 341,000. So my guess is that these longs exiting is something which is from the earlier days, like earlier days, maybe the ones that added at like 12 rupees, 13 rupees, 11 rupees, that is yesterday morning, could be exiting somewhere here. That is what my guess is. It can differ. It could be a different possibility also, but I feel that they are exiting about here, this 341 341,000, right? So now taking this data for tomorrow's expiry into expiry, so where we open will be crucial, the first thing. And if you see, the most of the shorts that we see are concentrated at these levels, like above 75. Like if you see, the most of shorts today have come in about 94 and 109. So this is above 75. This call has been getting short built up, and even if you see the earlier short built up that got added from 8th of May, also we have added about above 80 rupees or above 75 rupees. The shorts have been coming in, and today there is a continuous follow up action for that. And today the quantities have been much bigger compared to the previous days, right? So we have a resistance about these prices of 75 to 80 or 75 to 100. You can say that there's a bigger zone that they where this got added. And if tomorrow we see prices or shorters covering at these prices of 75 to 95 or 75 to 100, we have if we see, or we start to see the call shorters covering once the prices are not moving below or trying to sustain above these prices, and that's where this call can pick up momentum. And then it can hit also. It can take out today's high and reach somewhere higher of about 200 and 250 levels, right? So that is the data that we have in this 2.4 million. Out of this whole 2.4 million of OI that is there at 9,500 call, so the most of OI was added today, right? Of 300,000, 237, 149, right? So if you just ignore this 128 to be long, that which was at 71, right? And if you just add these up, like 106, 150, that's 250, 280, 480, 780. It's almost about 800,000, which is one third of this total wide 9,500 call is added at this price of 75 to 90 or 75 to 100, right? So that's where you should be looking for this call if you just want to play for a bullish view tomorrow. Then you should be watching this call at these prices, and then if it starts sustaining above this zone of 75 to 95, then it can blast like really well, right? So this is the kind of data analysis for 9,500 call, right? And and I hope this data, or this price information and this data information where this OI, the entire OI is concentrated, might help you take a better decision tomorrow in this call option. And 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 if we start opening lower than this, right, lower than the 75, the close is 67, right? And if we start somewhere opening here, and we are not crossing this level, and we are seeing continuous short build-ups, right? So that is an indication that this call might not gain momentum later in the day. But what can happen is that at lower levels of like 10, 12, maybe some momentum can come up if the market didn't fall by that time. Like if the market doesn't fall too much till the noon, and the price is just spending time about like 9,400 to 9,450, so then there is a possibility of someone adding up at the lower levels and then price moving up. But otherwise, if the market starts moving down, this 9,500 call, as long it's below 75, so it can be considered as the writer's interest is still present in this call, right? So that is the analysis video for this 9,500 call. I just thought of making this because there's a stimulus package announced by the government, and there is an FM finance ministry. She's speaking about a lot of details about the package, and it could affect market in surprising ways. So I thought this data of this 9,500 call would help you in deciding whether to play for the bullish view, and if yes, then how could we play, and at what prices the shorters will be forced to cover, and stuff like that. So I thought of making this video and explaining all the data starting from 8th of May. So we have seen all the data. So from the 8th of May, the 8th of May we had like 1.4 million of open interest, and then today we have about 2.4. That's almost the 1 million addition. Out of that, if you see, most of the addition is today of 800,000, right? the previous shorters were much lesser. They were longs at lows. If you see the 12 rupees, 11 rupees, they were longs, and everyday shorters were covering at lows. If you see the previous days, the shorters were covering at lows. They were shorting at 70, they were shorting at 50, they were covering at 50. So they were shorting at 70, they were covering at 30. So like that. But the ones who added at 11, 12 rupees have been seen covering like today at the close of 341,000. So if tomorrow it starts opening like below 60 or below 50, so then that is the confirmation that today's shorts will be still in the game tomorrow, right? And then you should exercise caution in playing for a further upside in the market. But if in contrast it starts sustaining above 75 to 90 95 zone, so that's where the shorters whoever shorted today might run for cover, right? And that's when we should wait for further upside, right? So that's it for this video. Any views or any questions that you have in the analysis made in this video, or you have some thoughts on the analysis, you can very well share in the video, right? And I'll try to take some time and uh, answer those questions, right? Thank you guys. Thank you so much.